What if I told you that poverty has almost nothing to do with the number printed on your paycheck and everything to do with the thoughts printed on your mind? The real trap is not an empty wallet, it's an empty belief system. You could hand a poor thinker $1 million and within a year they'd be right back where they started, broke, frustrated, and blaming life. Why? Because money never changes who you are, it only exposes it. And here's the truth most people don't want to face. Before your bank account runs out, your mindset already did. That's the silent disease keeping millions stuck, comfortable in excuses, allergic to responsibility, addicted to limitation. But if you dare to confront it, if you dare to shift it, everything in your life can change. Stay with me, because I'm going to show you exactly how. Poverty is not a number, it is a philosophy. It is not simply the lack of dollars in your account, it is the lack of discipline in your daily life. And here's the dangerous part. Poverty of the mind always comes before poverty of the pocket. Long before you ran out of money, you ran out of vision. Long before you fell into debt, you fell into excuses. It is the little whispers you allow yourself to believe, the quiet habits you repeat, the small compromises you justify day after day that eventually build the prison around you. Think about it. Two people can grow up under the same roof in the same neighborhood, even facing the same hardships. One climbs out and creates something extraordinary while the other stays stuck in cycles of blame and survival. What is the difference? Not luck, not inheritance, not even opportunity, because both had some. The difference is mindset. One chose to believe in possibility, the other chose to believe in limitation. And here is the sobering truth, whichever one you choose will create the life you live. A poor mindset is like a cracked lens. You can hand someone with a cracked lens the most beautiful painting in the world, but no matter how priceless the artwork, it will always look broken. The same happens with life. If your lens is cracked with fear, scarcity, and blame, everything you see will reinforce that story. You'll see obstacles where others see opportunities. You'll see enemies where others see mentors. You'll see only today's bills and miss tomorrow's potential. Here's what Jim Rohn would tell you. Success is not to be pursued, it is to be attracted by the person you become. That means if you stay the same inside, no matter what wealth you stumble upon, it will slip away. Because money doesn't change your habits, it multiplies them. If you're careless with $100, you'll be reckless with $10,000. If you avoid responsibility with a small paycheck, a bigger paycheck will only give you more room to hide. I remember the season when I worked myself to exhaustion, thinking the solution was longer hours. I thought, if I just put in more sweat, maybe I'll finally get ahead. But all I got was a tired body and an empty bank account. Then one evening I heard a mentor say, "You don't get paid for time, you get paid for the value you bring to time." That single sentence shattered me, because in that moment I realized my problem was never money, my problem was me. I was thinking like a laborer instead of a leader, like a victim instead of a student. That's the poor mindset, believing the only way out is to grind harder, blame louder, or wait longer for someone else to fix it. And it keeps you locked in place because it never demands that you change. But here's the truth, if you want tomorrow to look different than today, you have to become different today. One of the most toxic habits of a poor mindset is blame. It feels comfortable, it feels justified, it feels like relief to point the finger at the government, the economy, your upbringing, your boss, your parents. But every time you do, you trade your power for pity. You surrender the keys to your own future, and pity never paid anybody's bills. Jim Rohn used to say, "Don't wish it were easy or wish you were better." That means the breakthrough you need will not come from the world suddenly getting kinder or the job market suddenly getting fairer. The breakthrough will come when you become a person of greater discipline, greater courage, greater vision, and that's good news, because it means the power is already within you, not locked up in someone else's decision. I know how easy it is to believe the lie that says, "I'm stuck because of where I came from," or "If I just had more resources, I'd finally break free." But look around, how many people have won the lottery and lost it all within a few short years? How many athletes earn millions and end up bankrupt before their 40th birthday? More money doesn't fix poor thinking, it amplifies it. A poor thinker can turn abundance into ashes, while a wise thinker can turn scarcity into opportunity. So the real battle isn't for money, it's for mastery. Mastery of your thoughts, mastery of your habits, mastery of your discipline. Because once you change how you think, money is no longer the master, it becomes the servant. Wealth stops being an accident and it starts becoming a design. And let me challenge you with this. What words are you speaking over your life every day? The poor mindset leaks out of your mouth without you even noticing. Every time you say, I can't afford, that you are teaching your brain to believe it. Every time you mutter, I'm always broke, you are programming your future. Words are seeds, and your life is simply the harvest. If you plant defeat in your speech, you cannot expect victory in your life. I caught myself one day telling a friend I'll never get ahead. It rolled out so casually like it was fact. But the moment it left my lips, I realized I had just declared defeat over myself. That was the day I decided to change my language. I stopped saying I can't afford it and started asking, how can I afford it? I stopped repeating I'm broke and started declaring I'm building. Those words didn't magically fill my bank account, but they began to fill my mind with possibility. And possibility is where every fortune begins. So here's where I'll leave you. For now, the poor mindset is not your destiny. It's just your current decision. And decisions can change. You don't have to wait until your circumstances shift. You can shift right now. Poverty may have shaped your past, but it does not have to write your future. The poor mindset has one more destructive habit. It worships comfort. It's always chasing the easy road, the quick pleasure, the small escape that feels good for a moment but costs dearly in the long run. It says, I deserve this, and swipes the card for another gadget, another night out, another empty purchase. It convinces itself that spending is relief when in reality it is just shackles disguised as celebration. And the cruel part is those who live for comfort rarely build capacity. They weaken the very muscle required to create freedom. But the wealthy mindset understands a different law. It knows every dollar is a seed. You can consume it today and be satisfied for a night, or you can plant it and create shade for years. It's not that wealthy thinkers never indulge, they simply choose when. They decide that growth must come before gratification. They have learned that comfort is easy, but growth is rewarding. I remember a time when I had just enough for something extra, $20. It could have gone to a dinner out or a movie with friends. But there on the shelf was a book on business and discipline. That $20 choice did not give me an evening of pleasure. It gave me a lifetime of perspective. Because inside those pages were ideas that changed how I saw time, money, and opportunity. That book became a mentor I never met. And here's the lesson. Growth rarely looks glamorous at the start. It looks small, ordinary, unimpressive, but it compounds. The small choice to invest in yourself creates a future where others wonder how you got so far ahead. The poor mindset says, I'll never have enough to invest. But that's another lie. The truth is, you don't need thousands of dollars to start. You need 10, you need 5. You need the discipline to say, I will direct even the smallest amount towards something that expands me, not something that numbs me. Because money is not the real seed, discipline is. Money only follows the habit you create. Let me tell you something. Jim Rohn hammered into my heart, what you get will seldom make you successful. It's what you become that makes you valuable. That means if you stay the same person, more resources will not rescue you. A poor thinker given more money is still a poor thinker, only louder. But a person who grows into responsibility, who learns discipline, who builds wisdom, will attract wealth almost by default, because value is magnetic. People pay for value, not effort. Now let's talk about vision. Poverty thinking is obsessed with today. It asks, how will I pay this bill? How will I make it to the end of the month? It survives one paycheck at a time. But wealth thinking stretches forward. It asks, what will my life look like in 5 years? It creates a blueprint instead of throwing bricks randomly into a pile. Without a vision, every financial choice is random. With a vision, every choice is purposeful. Picture this. A builder doesn't lay one brick at a time, hoping it becomes a mansion. He studies the design first. He sees the end before he begins. And because he sees it, every brick he places has direction. That's what your financial life requires. Without a 5-year vision, you will wander. You will work hard, yes, but you will find yourself circling the same mountains. And then one day you'll wake up and wonder where the years went. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 5. 5 years is enough to reshape your entire financial destiny. 5 years is enough to eliminate debt, create multiple streams of income, and build the confidence that you once thought belonged only to others. But none of that happens by accident. It begins the moment you sit down, put pen to paper, and declare where you're headed. The poor mindset avoids this because vision feels intimidating. It says, I don't know enough, I don't have enough, I'll never make it that far. And so it drifts. But drifting never built wealth. The ocean only carries you in circles unless you set the sail. Wealth thinking says, even if I don't know the full map, I'll start with the destination. Then every small step is a line. Every spending choice, every book purchased, every course taken, every hour invested, it all becomes part of a greater design. I want you to ask yourself a bold question tonight. If I keep living the way I am today, where will I be in 5 years? And does that destination excite me or terrify me? That's your wake-up call. Because if you don't like the answer, the time to change course is now, not someday. Another enemy of wealth is casualness. Casual with money, casual with time, casual with relationships. And casualness always costs more than discipline. You see, every dollar not directed has a destination anyway. It will escape through your fingers and land in someone else's pocket. Every hour not invested has a harvest anyway. It will disappear into distraction and leave you weaker. Discipline is the only thing that turns waste into wealth. And here's the truth, discipline is not punishment. Discipline is the greatest form of self-respect. It is saying, I value my future too much to sell it for a moment's pleasure. It is building a bridge from where you are to where you want to be. And every decision is another plank on that bridge. So let me tell you why this matters. Because money will not rescue you. A new job will not rescue you. Even luck will not rescue you. The only rescue is you becoming someone new. And that begins with breaking the addiction to comfort, planting a vision that pulls you forward, and practicing the discipline to walk it out daily. You don't have to wait until you feel ready. You don't have to wait until you have more resources. Wealth is not about someday, it is about decisions today. The future belongs to those who plant now, not to those who wait for perfect timing. Let's get practical, because mindset without application is like a blueprint never built. The poor mindset lives in dreams, in someday, and the endless comfort of excuses. But the wealthy mindset turns knowledge into practice. Transformation is not what you know, it is what you do daily with what you know. I want to challenge you with a simple truth. Habits are the steering wheel of your destiny. If your habits remain the same, your life will remain the same. You don't need luck. You don't even need a miracle. You need new habits that shape a new future. And these don't have to be grand, dramatic habits. They are small, repeatable actions that slowly but surely rewrite your story. Start with your words. Words are not just sound, they are seeds. If you keep saying, I can't afford it, you are planting the seed of defeat. If you say, I'm broke, you are programming poverty into your future. Instead, train yourself to shift those words. Replace I can't with how can I replace I'm broke with I'm building. Replace that's too expensive with it's not my priority right now. These subtle changes are not lies, they are redirections. They turn your mind from barriers to possibilities. Next, track your money. I cannot stress this enough. Most people are broke not because they don't earn, but because they don't observe. They have no clue where their money goes. They live in financial fog, and fog is dangerous because you can't see the road ahead. Wealthy thinkers clear the fog by writing it down. Every purchase, every expense, every leak. Awareness is power. And the moment you know, you begin to choose differently. Here's another step, gratitude. It may sound soft, but gratitude is a financial habit. A poor thinker only sees what's missing. A wealthy thinker gives thanks for what is already present because gratitude sharpens the eyes to see opportunity. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for and make one of them financial. Even if it's small, even if it's I'm thankful I could pay for a meal today. Gratitude turns complaint into contentment, and contentment creates clarity. But don't stop there. Feed your mind with new ideas every single day. 10 minutes of reading a book on discipline, finance, or personal growth can ignite a spark that changes your course. I remember reading one line in a book that shifted everything. Money will only make you more of what you already are. That line pushed me to examine myself deeply. If I was careless, more money would only make me more careless. If I was wise, more money would amplify my wisdom. That realization alone changed how I handled every dollar afterward. Now, discipline. Discipline is not punishment, it is the price of freedom. Jim Rohn used to say, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without that bridge, you can see the destination but never reach it. Discipline means saying no to the extra coffee so you can save $10 toward your dream. It means turning off the television for an hour so you can read, study, or build. It means treating today as sacred because the seeds of today are the harvest of tomorrow. Let's talk about blame again, because it is a subtle thief. When you blame, you give away power. You become a passenger in your own car. The wealthy mindset takes back the wheel. It says, it may not all be my fault, but it is my responsibility. That statement alone can move mountains. Responsibility is not about guilt, it's about power. When you own it, you control it. And what you control, you can change. I want you to picture something. Imagine two people earning the exact same income. One complains every day, this isn't enough, I'll never get ahead. The other says, this is my starting point now, how do I grow it? Within 5 years, they live in different worlds. One is drowned in debt, still blaming, still waiting for someone to rescue them. The other has created streams of income, learned new skills, and elevated their life. Same money, same world, but two mindsets that built two realities. That's the power of choice. And here's the great news. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in 1 week. You need to take small, intentional steps that align with your vision. Build momentum with a 7-day reset. For 7 days, practice gratitude. Track your money, read for 10 minutes, and monitor your words. Do that and you'll notice a shift. Not just in your finances, but in your energy, your confidence, your clarity. Because transformation is not a giant leap, it is a daily direction. And when you start stacking disciplined days, you begin to feel like a new person. Suddenly, you're not waiting for opportunities, you're creating them. You're not begging for change, you're embodying it. And let me remind you of something profound. Success is not about chasing money, it is about becoming the person who can handle it. If you try to pursue wealth without becoming wealthy in mindset, wealth will flee. But if you pursue discipline, responsibility, and growth, wealth will eventually chase you. So here's the challenge I'll leave you with. In this part, stop asking, what can I get, and start asking, who am I becoming? Because when you become more, you will attract more. And that shift from getting to becoming is the doorway to a whole new life. You've heard the truth. Wealth is not just money. It's the way you think, the way you choose, the way you live each day. Poverty is not simply the absence of dollars. It's the absence of direction. And here is the final lesson. You are not stuck unless you decide to be. Too many people carry the weight of their past like a permanent anchor. They say, I've always struggled, so this is just who I am. That is the lie of the poor mindset. Your past is not a prison, it is a classroom. The mistakes you made were lessons, not sentences. The failures you faced were teachers, not tombstones. The wealthy mindset refuses to be defined by history. It writes a new story with the pen of today's choices. I need you to picture this clearly. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads. One road is wide and familiar. It leads to more of the same, more blame, more excuses, more survival. The other road is narrow and demanding. It asks you to grow, to discipline yourself, to carry responsibility. It feels harder at first, but it leads to freedom, wealth, peace, and legacy. The decision is yours. Which road will you take? Jim Rohn would tell you, don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge, wish for more wisdom. That means your future is not waiting for the world to soften. It is waiting for you to strengthen. And the beautiful thing is you are fully capable. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't even need to have it all figured out. You just need to begin. Imagine the wealthy version of you. Not just the one with more money, but the one with more confidence, more peace, more vision. The version of you who walks into each day with purpose instead of panic, with clarity instead of confusion, with discipline instead of distraction. That version of you already exists. It is waiting in the choices you make today. Understand, this change doesn't happen in a dramatic flash of lightning. It happens in the quiet discipline of small decisions no one sees. It's when you say no to one more excuse, when you open a book instead of scrolling, when you save $10 instead of spending it on impulse, when you choose gratitude instead of complaint. That's where transformation begins, not in the future, but in the present. And let me give you a warning. The poor mindset will not disappear quietly. It will whisper to you every day, it's too late, you don't have enough, you'll never make it. But those are lies dressed as truth. The way you defeat them is by choosing action over hesitation, belief over doubt, responsibility over blame. The moment you do, you weaken that old mindset and strengthen the new. So here is my final challenge to you. Declare today the day you release the poor mindset once and for all. Decide that your language will reflect possibility, your habits will reflect discipline, and your vision will reflect abundance. Write down one belief you are letting go of and one action you are taking this week to step into your wealthy mindset. Because words and actions together create momentum, and momentum creates change. You are not destined to merely survive. You are designed to thrive. Wealth is not a dream for the lucky few. It is the reward for those who choose discipline, gratitude, responsibility, and growth. The wealthy mindset is not built in one day, but it must be started today. So don't wait. Don't delay. Don't let another year slip through your fingers while you cling to excuses. The future does not belong to the hesitant. It belongs to the decisive. It belongs to those who stand up and say, enough. I will grow, I will build, I will rise. Your journey doesn't begin when money shows up. It begins when your mindset shifts. And that shift can happen right now in this very moment if you choose it. This is your time. This is your chance. Step into the wealthy mindset and watch how the world opens before you.